Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today is June 20th, 2019, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, just really some few events are actually happening today, okay? But really one event overshadows all of them, and that's coming out at 1 o'clock South African time from the United Kingdom. It's an official bank rate vote. Now, this is the equivalent of a interest rate decision that the central bank actually establishes. So this is really a major number. Earlier this morning, we had an Aussie number that kind of rattled the Forex markets, and we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. And so the Aussie makes an about face after rallying a little bit yesterday. Euro has this weak bounce, and the GBP looks like it's bouncing also right before this number. So really very important fact that this number is coming out later today. Now looking at the Dow Jones yesterday after the FOMC, the market explodes on the upside, really very positive, above 26,600-ish level. So we're less than 200 points off of our all-time highs. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. So looking at the commodities, gold explodes as well, above that 1340 resistance we were talking about earlier this week, and traded right through it to 1395, retracing right now, but a big explosion in gold. Oil looking to break resistance also as it plays catch up to the rest of the market. Now, lastly, looking at the stocks, what's been driving the Dow Jones higher? Microsoft, okay? The softy, one of the oldest tech companies in the United States in relations to the last 30 years, and really what's been driving the market higher, okay, which is kind of interesting because the FANG stocks were doing the job about 6 months ago. So there's a shift in the market as what's the leader and what's the lagger here. And let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect. So we're looking at the Euro USD, and still very choppy market, okay? We mentioned this earlier this week, didn't follow that rally above this 1339-ish level, and finally, taking a little bit of a break and retracing, and now we're pretty much just within the middle of the range, okay? This is really no place for us to actually start buying it or selling it here. Closer to the upper range of this resistance of 1390, I would look to actually short it, and closer to the 1100-ish level, I would actually look to actually buy it. But we're right smack in the middle, so not much going on with the Euro USD here. But looking at the GBP USD, a nice sharp bounce from our low of 125.21 to 26.95. Okay, that's over 150 pip move. Let's look at a 1 hour chart. Look at that. Okay, that's pretty decent for a one-day move. Now we're above this trend line again, okay, which is really supposed to serve as a resistance level, but maybe this will be the about face for the GBP. Okay, the question is still we have other things in the background, including Brexit, including the upcoming elections. So I'm not sure if that's actually going to fruit, or this is going to expire, or they're just trying to take it higher before they take it even lower. Okay, which will very well may be the case in this situation. Now looking at the Aussie dollar on a 1 hour chart, we had some choppiness this morning, finally bouncing above the resistance level. But the question is this capitulating at this level after having some run-ups this morning with some market analysis as to some of the numbers that came out earlier this morning. Now looking at gold, this has really been the one. 1341 was the resistance. We mentioned this earlier in the week. This was really the spot right there, and we said, okay, if we do break above it, we kind of almost broke above it with this one candle that you could see right there, okay, and then didn't break it higher. Okay, now it didn't go down. It really flirted with this resistance level, then finally taking it above this 1382 and whamming it. I mean, even if you were short, okay, at these levels, and you had a stop loss in place, and you would have recognized and kind of read the climate here, you could have flipped it and still made money, okay, in the anticipation perhaps that it was going to go down. So with that said, this is a massive explosion for the price of gold. It's the high of the year, so very interesting to note. Now looking at oil, it finally broke above this resistance level. This just happened actually. So really nice that it's happened. I kind of mentioned it earlier this week. That was looking to break resistance, but from the time that I prepared the actual slide and to what we're looking at right now, this is actually happening. Okay, it broke above this resistance, this Fibonacci retracement level. And so with that said, the next real resistance is $57 a barrel. So just keep that in mind. Now jumping into the Dow Jones. Look at this. We're looking at a daily chart and we're trading at 26,655, okay, right at resistance, okay, really at resistance right there, just shy of it on our Fibonacci retracement. If this explodes above this 26,700-ish level, we could see new all-time highs in the Dow Jones. Okay, and wouldn't that be sweet? Okay, carry the rest of the market higher. Now, jumping into Microsoft, this is really the one that you have to keep an eye on. We're looking at a weekly chart. Just imagine, only 4 years ago, had you bought 100 shares of this, okay? Today, that 100 shares would have made you $13,500 from $4,500, a profit of $9,000. Divide that by 4 years, that's almost $2,500 a year, okay? So amazing, really, just amazing what Microsoft has done over the last couple of years. Now, I'd like to see this push forward and perhaps carry the market forward. So this is really the leading indicator, and you want to see it actually push higher and to see if that does freight later today. So keep an eye on this, and this which should really be the one to carry higher. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.